Because it says John wants answers in high quality.
They all watch it on YouTube. And there it's going to be in high def.
3,
But
2,
the people watching live right now, watch.
Yeah, wait.
Sure, go ahead. Say the thing. Say the thing.
Tonight, there's a lying guy running for governor. Is he going to beat us in the primaries? And then we give advice on how to get a job in tech. Are they going to steal our jobs? And later, impeachment. When does the good part start? There's no stopping us now because we're live. We need. No, now we need the 60 Minutes video. Now we're gone.
We're gone. What the hell is going on?
I'm John Thompson.
I'm John A. Vink.
I'm Keith Stattenfield.
I'm Loretta Beavers.
I'm Jim too.
I'm Jennifer Sim.
I'm AJ Minnick. Those stories tonight on John Wants Answers.
John wants answers. Give John answers. John wants answers. Give John answers now.
Check your calendar. If it says November 14th, 2019, then we're live.
Okay, back to my point.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. If your calendar says that day,
Yes.
and if they're watching us, definitionally they are not watching us in high definition. Because the station doesn't broadcast in high def, and they can't see high def on Facebook, which is the only two places you can see this show on the day you just said when you said we were live.
But I upload this to YouTube. Like when we walk out of here,
Yeah, but I'm
I
just
get
saying
it uploaded
this,
to YouTube
from
right
an
away.
editing point of view, you could superimpose the in high def after we tape.
That'd be a lot of work. We're live. We don't have I don't have time for editing the show afterwards. That's why we do the show live. So there is no editing. And then with the high def version,
as long as you
it's
can
on
sleep
YouTube,
knowing you're lying to the audience.
Tonight,
That's
people
fine.
tonight can watch it and it'll still be
In
correct.
non-high def. We're sorry if you're actually watching this live and we're in standard def. Accept my apologies. I'm probably not even on the screen. I mean, I think standard def stops like right about here.
My guest tonight is Keith Stattenfield. I was going to say nice things about you,
Yeah,
but we
don't.
ran out of time.
We ran out of time.
So I ran out of time,
Yeah.
so I got to skip that part.
Yeah.
And get on to the part where I say we'll be taking your tweets.
Sure.
You can tweet us tonight at John Wants Answer.
Yeah, if you're watching this live, let me know if I'm on screen.
And if you don't want to tweet us, go to the website, go to johnwantsanswers.com.
Yeah.
And then click on Contact Us. All right, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm going to get right into it. Our first topic, Keith and John, get it on.
Piano guy paid attention during rehearsal.
Okay, as regular viewers remember, we are in the midst of a 2.5-year contest
Yes.
to see who can get the most votes in the primaries for governor of California.
Yes.
2022.
Yes.
The news has come out. Some other guy is
Other
running
guy is
against
also
us.
doing it,
Well, he's not doing a contest with us.
or he actually wants to be governor.
I don't know if he wants to be governor. Let's listen to this story on the internet. A San Francisco man is going to extreme lengths to call out Facebook's controversial policy of allowing politicians to run false ads on its platform. Last Monday morning, Adriel Hampton registered as a candidate in California's 2022 gubernatorial election. Not with the goal of becoming governor, but so he can run false Facebook ads of his own.
Hey.
Facebook allows politicians, including candidates for public office, to run ads on its platform that are not fact-checked. So
He found a loophole.
he found a loophole. So the policy has drawn criticism from Democrats, who like to be honest, who say it will help President Trump's re-election campaign. Former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign wrote to Facebook asking the company to remove a false ad the Trump campaign ran about Biden and Ukraine earlier this month. Facebook denied Biden's request.
Yeah.
So, official policy of Facebook is if you're a candidate for governor or any office, you can say whatever you want and they will take down.
What about like homeowner board president?
I think that's not public office.
No.
That's a private office.
Yes.
So, were you going to run fake ads against your competitors?
Against other people?
For
Sure, I could do
president
that.
of your homeowner association?
I could diss other homeowners associations.
Yeah.
Like those Casa del Valum people.
Always raising their rates,
Yeah.
and they're pocketing the money.
Let me explain to you. Their driveway is not smooth. Like when you drive to visit someone there, there's a pothole you got to
Yeah.
go around.
And when you go in the house, there's mold in the ceiling.
Well,
From all the leaks.
that'd be owner responsibility.
I thought the roof. Don't you guys pay for your roofs?
Well, yeah,
of
but not inside
buildings?
the house. I mean, there's
Well, you get mold in the house because there's water coming out of the roof.
assumes facts, not an evidence.
Exactly. We're lying. Come on, we're lying here. So what I've noticed from this article
Yes.
is that we can already file to run for governor. I was led to believe we have to wait like 2 years.
Seems really early.
But this man has already filed.
Well, if you notice, the story continues to go on that he's planning to lie.
Yes.
What if he's lying to Facebook about having registered to run for governor?
Well, but this article was on CNN. CNN doesn't lie.
But he might lie to CNN.
You think he would lie to CNN?
It's been done before.
Who's lied to CNN?
Theoretically, it's been done before.
Are you going to run ads on Facebook with lies about me?
I mean, I wasn't going to, but you know, it's just very tempting.
I have seen your website.
Yeah.
And I think there's some lies already on the website about
Well,
me.
that's not Facebook though. That's
So-
just the First Amendment. You can't keep me from putting lies on my
on the internet.
anyoneButJohnForGovernor.com website.
So I think this guy's goal is really to get Facebook to like step up and stop letting people.
Sure, and I think Facebook is definitely going to say, we will not take your money, which no one, and not run your ads for governor, and no one will care about you. Give us the money.
he's going to run lying ads about Mark Zuckerberg, is what he said.
They'll have like a no ads about Mark Zuckerberg clause.
Okay.
Wait, is Mark Zuckerberg running for governor?
No, but he's just going. But candidates can say lies about anything, I guess, not
What?
just other
That's
candidates.
insane. I thought you could only lie. I mean, I can lie about other people on my anyoneButJohnForGovernor.com
If you have a
website.
list of enemies that you want to tell lies about,
I do have
go nuts.
I do have a list of enemies. Come to think
Yes.
of it.
I've got a list too. Think we have any of the same names on our list?
I bet we do.
Okay. All right. So that is lies.
I'm still confused. Are you going to pay Facebook to run ads?
I may.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say lies because
No,
I'm
they're
running
just-
a clean campaign.
The truth is a very, very fuzzy concept.
One person's truth is another person's alternative fact.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not, for example, going to run ads on Facebook saying you're still Canadian.
I am still Canadian.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. So you won't run an ad saying a true thing.
I'm not going to run truthful ads. That would be insane. I mean,
Yeah.
You should run those.
Okay. I think I'll run an ad that saying I'm a Canadian though. That doesn't seem relevant to the campaign of running
Well,
for governor.
now I have to run an ad saying you're Canadian
Okay.
because you're denying it.
I'm not denying it.
You denied your Canadian heritage. Your home country will turn against you. No one in Canada
yeah.
is going to vote for you for governor.
I believe
promise.
It. I believe it. Okay. Our next topic is, now we need a name for this segment. I have a new segment. I want a good name for it. It's like viewers write in asking for advice,
Okay.
and then we give them advice.
Okay. Bad advice with John and Keith.
Our next topic, bad advice with John and Keith.
I want a producer credit.
It's like a writer credit, if anything.
Okay, I want a writer credit.
Okay, done. Okay, this is an actual email that I received. It was an
Okay,
email. So it's like a
sure.
message on Facebook.
You're already lying.
I'm going to read it as in a Casey Kasem voice, like it's a long distance dedication.
I'm looking forward to this.
Hey, John. Wanted to pick your brain for advice. A young man named Eric. That's all. I'll just call him Eric. I don't
Okay.
wanna embarrass
Is
this
his
guy.
name Eric?
From Fruitvale, BC, just graduated from the University of Calgary.
I mean, you just outed him. How many Erics can there be in Fruitvale, Canada? Aren't there like
University of
17
Calgary.
people in Fruitvale total?
Yeah. No, it's 2,000 people.
Okay, I'm going to say 3 Erics.
So, Eric got a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering
Wow.
from the University of Calgary Schulich School of Engineering. Fun fact, I went to the Schulich School of Business at York University in Toronto.
Wow, was it?
So Seymour Schulich is just like buying up buildings like crazy in Canada and getting them named after himself. Apparently.
Maybe he donated money and built the college.
We didn't build it because it existed long before he
Now,
named these. He graduated with distinction. He got a 3.88 out of 4 GPA.
oh, that's not bad for
Not
Canada.
bad. Yeah, more than I got.
I mean, do you multiply it by 0.8 or something, or
No,
is
you
it
don't. No, you don't. He got these academic excellence scholarships. He's on the dean's list.
Sure.
Okay, so apparently he's a graduate.
Pretty much every way he's better than
Great
me.
He's my son's good friend. Smartest kid in 25 years of teaching grade 7. So the guy writing me is a teacher.
Now you outed him too.
That's okay.
How many grade 7 teachers can there be in Fruitvale, Canada?
I'll bet he teaches in Trail, where the high school is.
Okay.
I went to high school and elementary school with this teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I know. He's looking for guidance on finding a job. So I took it upon myself to ask someone like yourself with the knowledge and experience second to none.
Ah.
So I got him fooled.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, how would a graduate from university get a job in high tech?
In Canada.
He'll work anywhere. He'll work here.
Well, I'm not sure if he will. I mean, there are like visa requirements.
Yeah.
Let's not suggest he break the law and
No.
sneak across the border into America at 2 o'clock.
Look, I got
AM.
a job in America when I was in Canada.
I'm
but
just saying,
he doesn't do it.
if you head over to Minnesota, and you get to where Route 17 crosses into Canada, and you go about 300 yards to the right of the road, there are 2 tall trees, and if you go between the 2 tall trees, there's a tiny trail there, and if you follow the trail for about 3 miles, you get to a nice house with a lady that'll get you a job in America.
Is this the Underground Railroad you're talking about? Okay. This is what I did when I graduated.
Okay?
I sent out resumes
Wow.
left and right. Like I mailed them because that's before the internet.
That didn't
I'm going to
exist
fax
yet.
them. I faxed resumes or emailed resumes. Just cold calls, right? And I call them on the phone and say, hey, man, do you get my resume?
I'm John. Can I have a job?
This is Johnny.
Yeah, I
You get my,
suppose. Yeah.
You get my resume?
Did you do the Casey Kasem voice?
No, not back then.
Hi, this is John. I can't do Casey Kasem.
I should have practiced more
Jenny, you should have.
on
Yeah.
the. I listen to him every Sunday. They replay his TV show, his radio show, every Sunday.
'Cause he's dead.
He's
isn't
dead.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead. So I sent out resumes.
Isn't Casey Kasem show like the top hits of the week?
The top 40 countdown from the 80s. He
So, like-
retired in 1988. They're replaying the
So
old
like
shows.
definitionally they're wrong. Like they're not the top hits anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Okay. Good thing we got a lot of frequencies.
So I got lucky. I sent my resume out to a consulting company,
Sure.
and they didn't know any better, so they hired me for a
Okay.
contract position.
Yeah.
And I worked 3 months, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Don't admit that on TV, John.
Well, okay, here's the thing. They hired.
You're gonna give the whole consulting industry a black eye.
They hired a bunch of like new graduates out of university
Yeah.
to do this project for Petro-Canada. So all these new kids in a room, like well, there must have been like 12 of us.
Are we helping Eric from
And-
Canada?
Yeah, that's coming up.
Okay.
And so at the time I didn't realize this, but soon after I got my first real job, I realized none of us knew what we were doing. And so that thing got canceled and they had to throw it all away.
Okay.
And that's how I got that job.
That's true a lot. Like I frequently have no idea what I'm doing until I'm done. And then I look back and I'm like, well, I guess that's what I did.
What was your first job out of university?
Out of university, I worked for a company in Madison called Persoft that made terminal emulators. But I didn't make terminal emulators. I was working on this new product they had bought from their CEO's cousin. which organized information.
Okay.
It was called IZE, I-Z-E. That's the end of the word organize.
Oh. Was
And
it,
it was like Google text search, except 30 years ago.
was it any good?
It was okay.
Did it ship?
Yeah, the Windows version shipped.
Okay.
The Mac version didn't.
How did you get that job?
I was at college
Uh-huh.
in my little college-y computer science building, and then I looked over at the board and it said, Persoft is coming by, get some free food and soda.
Uh-huh.
And I walked up to the second floor and there were people there. And they said, hey, have some free soda and food.
Free soda's a good
Are
selling
you interested in getting a job? We're hiring. And I gave them my name, and then I sent them a resume, and then they were like, sure, we'll give you a job.
Did you have an interview?
I might have.
You might have.
I don't remember.
Not entirely
It
sure.
wasn't much of an interview,
Okay. How long did you work there for?
like 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, they laid me off.
They laid you off.
Yeah,
Oh.
because it turns out there's no money in text search when computers still mostly had floppies.
Yeah, yeah. What was your next job after that?
Well, I consulted in Madison for a couple months. Mostly just like people would go, we need help writing code, and then I'd show up at their office. Like I worked on a networked thermal printer
Wow.
for like 6 weeks that apparently ended up in supermarkets for a long time.
Oh. How'd you get that job?
I think the people at Persoft went, we did layoffs, and then people called us and said, hey, can you give us the names of the people you laid off? Because we need people to write code for thermal printers. And I went there, and they were like, we'll give you $20 an hour. And I was like, well, that's
Wow.
more than I was making at Persoft.
That's good money. So your career really took off
Like
when you
3
got-
months later when I interviewed and got a job at Apple.
Okay. How did you get that job?
Apple came to campus to interview.
Were you still in college? Or were you just
I
hanging
wasn't,
out?
but you could use recruiting services at the university for 12 months after you graduate.
Oh, wow.
So I was still legal.
Okay.
You know, I think they want to make their numbers look good.
Uh-huh.
So I drove back over to campus. Like someone said, hey, Apple's coming. And I was like, no, I check the darn recording board every week and they're not there. And they're like, no, Apple's coming to the business school.
Business.
And I was like, that's kind of weird, but I want to work at Apple and have wanted to work at Apple since I was 12.
Oh.
So I went over to the business school and interviewed, and I brought my copies of Call Apple magazine, which I had written articles for, and my copies of Nibble magazine, which I'd written articles for.
Right.
And those poor people who were trying to hire software engineers had been getting business students coming in all day who only knew how to write in COBOL. And they were like, this is terrible. I don't know why we
They
came
went
here.
to the wrong building.
And then they looked
Yeah.
at my resume and went, you're our guy. And pretty much offered me a job on the spot, but it took them 4 months to free up a rec.
Now, you had an article in Nibble.
Yeah, I was a contributing editor at Nibble
What? And
when I was 13.
Wow.
I didn't tell them.
And
That's another thing. If you're looking for a job, don't tell people you're 13. Just send letters and sound like an adult, and they will just mail you checks.
Didn't that article appear in a movie called Terminator?
A tiny part of that article was used for the graphic effects for one of those articles, because I had many articles in Nibble. I was in the first Terminator 1 movie.
So you must have made a lot of money off that.
Not a dime.
Not a dime?
No, I didn't even make $1.
Wow. You might have gotten screwed. So, and then you've been at Apple forever since then.
Yeah, I never left.
Never left. They hired you in college.
Yeah, I just lucked into.
Yeah.
I lucked into all my jobs.
That's pretty much how it works.
That's good.
Here's
That's the
reality of
tip,
it,
Eric.
kids.
Just
It's all
luck
about
into
luck.
all your jobs.
So, I had that dumb
Buy
job.
Amazon in 1997.
I had that dumb consulting job, right?
Sure, dumb consulting job,
But even then, I impressed them.
but that lined you up for the next
Line me up.
dumb job.
Well, okay, so I had that job. It failed, but they seemed to see, they saw something in me.
Okay, they're like, this guy doesn't
And
know what he's doing.
It was a contract position. It was only meant to be 3 months long. After 3 months, I went to them and said, look, contract's up. I know you want me. Let's talk. Offer me a job.
Sure.
And they did.
Wow. But they
then-
also didn't know what they were doing.
But, okay, I was in university. I took a course in programming Unix and C.
Ooh.
And I impressed the instructor. Like, all the kids were like, joking about how I'm taking all the grades from the whole class for myself.
Wow.
Because doing so well.
That's very surprising because I know you now.
Yeah. And so then the instructor of that class remembered me
Okay.
and called me up or emailed me or something and said,
Sure,
hey,
he probably called you.
I'm working for this other company and you impressed me in
Yes.
my class, so I want you to apply for a job at this company.
Wow.
And so I did.
Were you writing Unix in C?
No. So they interviewed me.
Okay.
They hired me.
Yes.
And then the first day they said, here's the Macintosh you'll be working on. And I was like, Macintosh? I've never programmed a Macintosh before.
Well, no one
and
had.
it never came up during the interview.
They were appliances.
Yeah. So I got hired and did Mac software.
Wow.
And I worked on that for about 2 years.
Mac app? Was it in Mac app?
It was in Code Warrior. What's that?
Code Warrior.
What's that framework they had?
Power Plant?
Power Plant.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Hey, we used Power Plant at Apple.
So easy.
We used Power Plant at Apple. So anyways, I'm at that job.
I had to teach myself assembly to write Mac code.
I impressed my manager.
Okay.
You might know him, Roger Pantos.
Yeah.
So he got a job at Apple.
Yes,
He left my
yes,
company. My
he
company
did.
was a sinking ship.
Yeah.
So he
Well,
got off the ship, went
I
to
mean, look,
Apple. Then
I'm just
I
saying, they
emailed
hired
him.
you thinking you knew what you were doing.
I don't think he hired me.
No, but they did. That's why they were,
Yeah.
once Roger was gone.
So then I emailed Roger
Yeah.
saying,
I
guess
need a
what?
job.
I'm on a sinking ship. He's like, I know.
I know.
And so then I said, get me a job. And he sent my resume to the right people.
Yeah.
And they interviewed me.
Yeah.
And by this time, I knew what I was doing.
Wow.
And so I impressed them all enough that they hired me.
Okay.
And so I've,
That seems plausible.
yeah. So I worked at Apple for many, many years.
Many, many years, yeah.
And I worked in the iPod division.
Yeah, I heard you
I-
invented the iPod, as I understand.
That's the story I like to tell.
Yeah.
And so then people left Apple and started a new company called Nest.
Yeah.
And I worked with them.
Yeah, I hear you invented the Nest.
So I wouldn't say I interviewed at Nest.
No.
I just showed up and said, hey, give me a job. And they said, we know you.
We know you.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. You're the guy that did the thing with Power Plant.
And then Google bought Nest. Now I'm at Google.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, how's that go? How's that working out?
yeah,
Yeah.
they pay me a lot of money.
You get free searches?
10 free searches a month.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
yes.
I mean, how do they handle that on your 1099?
I don't think we talk about that too much on the
Okay.
1099.
We don't confess to tax fraud on
Okay.
TV, people.
So here's the advice to new grads
Sure.
after all that.
Yeah, get lucky
Get lucky.
and call Roger.
Impress people.
Yes.
Send out resumes to lots of companies.
Sure. I mean, none of this works anymore, but yes, do all these things.
Here's a good one. Get an internship.
Yeah, get an internship, really. We hire a lot of our interns.
At Apple, we get interns at Nest and
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
And if you're good, then we'll hire you
Yeah, pretty much.
after you graduate.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Oh, here's a tip I heard just today.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're applying for a job, copy the entire description of the job and paste it at the bottom of your resume in white text so it doesn't show up.
So then
But all the automatic programs that just look at the words in your resume think you're a perfect match.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. Yes.
Do that, Eric.
So here's an idea I had, and I talked to a director at Google yesterday.
Wow.
And said, Director at Google, what tips do you have?
Okay.
For people to be
We're not
hired.
supposed to approach the directors at my company.
I know. I did that too many times.
Yeah.
That's what I Google for.
That's
He said, do hobby projects. So, like, make a website or make some free applications.
Contribute to
freeware.
yeah. I mean, truthfully, if you have something people can look at, especially if you've been active in the community, it's a lot more likely a big company is going to notice you.
So experience is the key thing to have.
Yeah.
And to get experience, if you don't have a job, doing all these other things will give you experience in coding. So just lots of code.
But in practice, most people are going to work at smaller companies first.
Unless you're
And a lot of people are going to work at smaller companies their entire career. And that's
the big companies
fine.
have a lot of engineers.
Yeah, but there are a lot of
There must
small
be-
companies.
There must be hundreds of engineers at Google.
Oh yeah, we've got several dozen at my company.
I know, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of small companies that have like 2 or 3 engineers.
2 or 3, and we've got, like I said,
Yeah.
at least it might be 5 dozen.
Well, between the 2 of us, easily 200.
Sure. I
can
mean, there's a
name
lot
one.
of people at Google.
There's Bob and Jim and Fred.
I don't know Fred.
You don't know Fred?
I do know Fred. Yeah.
Sometimes they call him Wilfredo.
Yeah. Sometimes they call him Wilfredo, but he's Fred. Everyone calls him Fred.
Do you interview people?
Occasionally.
What kind of questions do you give them during interviews?
They always kind of say, you guys in this hour should talk about this stuff, and you guys should talk about this stuff, and you guys should talk about, and I never do that. I just yak at them for an hour, and I ask them
Oh, just so you prepared.
what she or he has done in the past, and what problem were there, and describe how you fix things, and
An interview at Apple or Google is an all-day affair.
yeah, it's an all-day affair. But you get lunch, like they feed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and coffee.
They took me to a restaurant that's now closed down.
Oh.
The Italian restaurant.
Yeah, everyone went to that Italian restaurant. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified after I got there because I ordered spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
And then after the waiter went away, I was like, I have a freaking white shirt on. What was I thinking ordering spaghetti? Then I was paranoid the entire lunch. I was like eating like really careful.
Didn't you see what the other engineers were wearing at the same time?
Oh, I already felt bad in a suit.
You were in a suit?
Yeah, I was insane. Yeah.
Even I knew.
My
you were.
mother had lied to me. She had convinced me that if you're interviewing for a big Fortune 500 company, you got to wear a suit.
Mm-hmm.
She even bought me suits so I'd have to wear. And then 20 years later, I donated them to Goodwill. 2 of them I had never had on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the last one I'd had on when I interviewed,
Yeah.
and I went to a funeral in it twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not a good ratio.
Yeah, you don't have to write that when you donate it.
Okay. Now, they stopped letting me interview. I don't interview people anymore.
Okay.
Not for like 6 years. I don't know why. They didn't tell me why.
I have my suspicions.
But from what I've heard, if they're going to ask you technical questions, they're not so interested in you getting the right answer. They want to see how your mind works and how you try to attack the problem to try and find an answer.
Sure.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah.
They tell me, like, when I used to interview, they say ask them a technical question and then see how they struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could never get another job. That's why I can never leave where I work now. Like, what would I do in an interview? I'd just freeze up.
Just try not to swear too much.
Okay. Yeah, that's
good advice.
another tip, Eric. Don't swear.
Don't swear too much. Okay.
He's Canadian. They don't swear, do they?
Looks like we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Close. So let's talk about impeachment.
What about the tweets?
Oh. Well, good thing the music didn't come on. We didn't talk about tweets now. What is tonight's topic? Well, we already went through that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Do we have any more tweets? Oh, there's more tweets. Oh, there's a whole pile of tweets.
See? People are going to be disappointed if we didn't go
You
into the
feel
tweets.
qualified for governor because you haven't held office, lower office.
We're not qualified for
qualified.
government. No,
No,
just
we're not qualified.
there's no risk.
What if you have a job and then capitalism ends? I don't know if that.
That's
Too
Maybe-
philosophical for me.
maybe you could get a sheep and farm.
What false Facebook ad would you run about Keith Explains? I would say it's an entertaining show.
Yeah.
Big lie.
Big lie. Huge lie.
You could learn something from that show.
Huge lie.
Big lie.
Yeah.
Big lie. Bigly.
Yeah.
Your description of the lady in Minnesota was an episode of Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Really? Because I don't watch that show.
I don't either.
You don't? Oh, so just
Apparently, I know things.
you know things. Keith was in a Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah, I was.
Schwarzenegger became governor.
Yes.
Keith is running for governor.
Yes.
Coincidence?
Coincidence?
Yes.
Yes.